Whoa, I want to drag. Okay, there it is. We're talking week 6, set to SWYK number 1. All right, so what happens if it's not written in vertex form? What if it's in what we call standard form, which we'll talk more about next week. But what happens when it's in standard form? Boy, that is a bad looking N. Oh well, I'll survive. Standard form. Well, standard form does not show you the vertex. Otherwise, it would be called vertex form. But what it does show you right here is the y-intercept. That's kind of a nice thing. If you want to know what the y-intercept is, that's because if x is 0, x being 0 would knock out those first two terms. That would only leave you with c. So that's why we know it's the y-intercept. So our graph better go through 3. If it doesn't, then I didn't draw it right. Anyway, so the axis of symmetry. There is a shortcut for finding the axis of symmetry that you need to know. Don't lose it, ever. X equals the opposite of b over 2a. Okay, now, so we know that a is with the squared term, and b is with the linear term, c is the constant term at the end. So it looks like here we got an a value of 5, a b value of 10, and so if I plug them into that, opposite of b over 2 times a, I end up with negative 10 over 10, which is negative 1. That is your axis of symmetry right there. Okay? Now, we know that the axis of symmetry goes through the vertex, so that's kind of important because that tells me the h. This right here tells me the h. Now, how do I find the k that goes with it? The other part of the vertex. So far, in terms of the vertex, we know that we have negative 1. We just don't know what the y value is. How are we going to find that? Plug it in. Notice that what I did was I went back to the equation for all the x's and I plugged in negative 1. Go through the order of operations. You know, negative 1 squared is 1 times 5 is 5. 10 times negative 1, negative 10, plus 3. Add them all together, you get negative 2. So now we know that the vertex is negative 1, negative 2. We know the a value, right? That's 5. And so since we have the a value is 5, I know that 1a, 3a, 5a, right? And we can graph this. Hey, I did a good job going through the y-intercept of 3. Yes! Now, you know, it looks a little bit, sketchy. I mean, yes, pun intended, folks. It does look sketchy. And it's not my greatest work. But you notice that when we went 1 to the right of the vertex at negative 1, negative 2, we went up 5. And then if I scroll back down here, 1 to the right, up 15. Right? So it's the 1a, 3a method of graphing. And then I just copied it to the other side, and we can see the axis of symmetry on the graph, the green part. Okay, next question. This is very similar type stuff. Okay, so I'm not going to spend tons and tons of time with this. You can pause it, look at it, study it, see what's going on here. You know, I used the a value is a 1. Oops, write that down. So we got an a value of 1. And a b value of 4. So I went right to the opposite of b over 2a. I found negative 2, so that's my first part. Plugged it into the equation to find the second part of the vertex. So now we know it's at negative 2, 0. Use the 1a, 3a, 5a method of graphing to graph the rest. It's very, very easy to do, so I won't beat it into the ground anymore. Well, I mean, I might, but just... So this one just opens down. That's why I wanted to show it to you. So we have an a value of negative 5 and a b value of negative 20. So remember, when you do opposite of b, that becomes a positive. 2 times a is a negative. So we ended up with x equals negative 2 as your vertex, or as your axis of symmetry. Then I can use that, plug it in. You know, that's your first part of your vertex. Take it, plug it in as we've done before, find the y value that goes with it, which is 5, and so then I can graph the vertex. We've got the 1a, 3a, 5a method, and yes, it's going down, as you can see. So I went 1 to the right and 5 down, just like I had done before. Pause. and then 1 to the right again, and dropping 15 units. Okay, and then copying them to the other side. Ain't no way I'm getting 5A, because it's going to drop off the graph too quickly. All right, so sketch the parabola given the... So now I'm just given some basic information. At first you might think to yourself, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? You only gave me the vertex and one other point. Well, I want you to understand something. You're using the graphing tool on Math Excel. So you're going to choose vertex, right, or choose parabola. It'll be one of the symbols in the in your choices of drawing tools. You're going to click on the vertex, which in this case is 0, 2. You're going to then go click on -5, 8. And guess what Math Excel is going to do? Math Excel is going to automatically create. Now, I have seen different types of Math Excel graphing questions on parabolas. Sometimes it only needs 2 points, and it will graph the rest. Other times it needs 3 points. So if you click on this, click on the vertex, click on the point -5, -8, and it doesn't graph the whole parabola for you, then it's expecting another coordinate. And in that case, you would need to use the one on the other side of the axis of symmetry, which is obviously 5, -8. Okay? When you click on that, it's going to draw it for you. Because I worked out the math. The A value is not nice. It's like 2/5. It's ugly. Okay? So just understand that you'll be able to click on 2 points, maybe have to do 3 points. More than likely 3 points. I would think it would be kind of a dumb question if they just did 2 points. Okay, let's see what else we got to do here. Got a couple questions that are multiple choice. Shouldn't be too hard for you. You have to look at it and see which ones are telling you. You know, I can see from the equation that this one moves 2 to the right and 4 down, because it's always backwards on the inside, exactly what you think on the outside. So you just have to look for the one that matches what you think. 2 to the right and 4 down. It has to open up, but none of the answer choices open down, so I couldn't get rid of them based on that. But it does have a positive A1. A1. Oh, that's great. Steak sauce, man. That stuff's great. All right. That's it for this video. Have a great day.